we are so close to unlocking this. One more mining hub. We're right there. Should we do it? Yeah, we're gonna do it. Heyo and welcome to another episode of Pine Harbor County, where we will use and abuse the new operating district mechanic that was introduced in Cities Skylines 2. Today is going to be a bit of a different episode, as we are not going to be focusing on just one of our settlements, but actually on plopping two signature buildings, the chemical plant and the Switchton Plant. Which, let's be honest, that's an Ikea. It's totally an Ikea. So anyway, I want to jump right into today's episode. So without further delay, let's get popping. All right. So if you recall, we built this area here. I think back in episode 14 or something like that. And I think this is going to be a great spot to actually plop down one of the first signature buildings. And I'm thinking we should actually plop the chemical plant. And the reason I'm thinking that is because I think these stacks, maybe if I turn off staffing, that would help. These stacks here, there we go. All right. These stacks right here, I think would look really good right along the elevated road. So we're going to want to change up a little bit of the road layout here, which I'm a little hesitant to do, but I do believe it must be done. So let's come on in. This will probably be a bit of a weird curve here. So if you look down at the road, it's not pathing. Probably because this is too sharp of an angle. All right, so here's what I think we're going to do on this. We are going to try deleting this. And I am just going to run one single Okay. I definitely just chose to make life super difficult with all of that wonky, wonky road network. But I did want to do it this way because I want to be able to put a couple of, office buildings here. And this landscaping can get fixed. Maybe it won't be as symmetrical or geometrical as it was prior, but I think that's kind of fun to, change it up a bit, make it weird. I think that fills this part in fairly well. And we'll come back in and just completely... I'll probably keep the same design for the, decorating in this area, but I will do that in a beautifying the build time lapse. So let's take a look at how this chunk looks, and that is what I was going for. So we scroll out here, and I just line us up with the bridge. As you come in at eye level, you just get these not smokestacks, these tanks right here that complement the smokestacks. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. The only thing I want to do while we are in this area is fill in some zoning. And I want to be strategic in our zoning because I want to start unlocking more of these buildings. I'm a little put off on these because I really want to unlock these tall residential buildings, but we need level 5 high density buildings. And if I come back over here and show you Bunyan's Rest, you know, we have level 3, and I can't make them happy because despite the fact that they have the biggest zoning that I can provide in this game, they're complaining about having a small home. So I will have to deal with that for now. Unless you guys know how to fix that. I mean, I zoned 6x6 there, right? Yeah, I zoned 6x6 here. So to me, I shouldn't be having a small home issue, but I am. So if you guys know how to fix that, let me know down in the comments if you've found a workaround, because I certainly would love one. So let's delete that sidewalk there. Yeah, okay. So I think that will be good. So now that my squirrel brain is, you know, running back on its wheel the way it's supposed to, these are some of the office buildings we haven't unlocked yet in the signature building tab. Coder Park will come automatically, but I really want this one. I just think this this chunk would look really good in downtown Bunyan's Rest. We need 10,000 cells of low density office. Sorry. And then I also think some of this would look really good. And I think this would be the central area of downtown Bunyan's Rest. So with that said, I don't want the zoning to get too high, but I think we could possibly put a chunk right here. And maybe one big chunk here. And what I'll do is just kind of scroll out, let everything build up, and we will take a look at how we like that skyline in a second. All right, so I certainly like the shape of this building, but I think I might actually like it right here instead. So let's come on in. So that was a 3x3. Let's just exchange these bad boys out real quick. And kind of just watch it grow up again. And I'm doing this mainly because I forgot about this tank here that can kind of help taper into, not like a full skyline, but like a quasi skyline and some visual appeal. Yeah, so that's a little bit more of what I'm looking for. So if we come in, just kind of scroll around, it just adds a little bit of height to this cargo area, little bit of office space, little bit more jobs. Oh, I don't think we're hurting for jobs, honestly. No, not really. We're at 7% unemployment. I mean, that's not something phenomenal, but the game's not breaking over it. And yeah, I might actually might exchange this one out for a chunkier industrial building. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. And yeah, let's let's stay calm and carry on to the next signature building. All right, so I am thinking our next building, the Switchton Plant, can go right around here. We already have the fuel plant right here. And I don't really think we need the Pinecrest Junction landfill anymore, as the incineration plant is doing a phenomenal job in processing and storing and polluting some of our residents here. It's actually really kind of cool to see that this pollution has actually spread over time. And eventually, we should probably take care of this. But I don't know, I guess it kind of amazed me. We've actually had some spots like this in where I live, where old factories and businesses back in like the 1970s and 1980s did real bad things to the environment, and they're beginning to heal themselves over time. So I just thought that was kind of cool that this ground pollution actually spread across the couplet system and in here. And I think it's kind of cool that we're going to have to react to this at some point and fix it. But not today, though. Today, we're going to make it worse, and we are going to add the Switchton Plant right here. So I want to start by actually just deleting this, which I find to be a great little quality of life, that I can now just delete a landfill site without worrying about emptying it. That was something you used to have to do in Cities Skylines. Cities Skylines 1 is wait for everything to empty. And especially where this game runs a little bit slower, I think that was just a really good quality of life to provide us. So let's start by kind of figuring out what the size of this is going to be, because we're going to need to alter our roads a little bit. So I don't want to infringe on Myrtle Street here, because this has our tram system, and I think we need to keep the tram system. So let's start by just seeing what happens if I give it just a little bit more space. By downsizing, and I'm going to break the game a little bit here. All right, we're going to have to go even smaller than that. So we're going to have to go into an alleyway, because that's the only paved one-cell road that we have. Because I don't think I want to infringe on over here. Now I'm kind of thinking about it. Yeah, no, I don't want to infringe over there. So what I want to do is I want to come into our road. Sorry, I want to come into our traffic. And do that with a little bit less in our face. Okay, there we go. This is green. So this doesn't get a bad traffic flow at this time. I think it's pretty safe to attempt to make it smaller. But we will have to break things. Okay, so I think that should be a pretty good orientation. Start the simulation again. I kind of absolutely adore the fact that I could just upgrade this road despite the train track being on top of it. And I am going to actually just come in now and see if it will let me. Will you let me? Okay, it's not gonna let me, but that's fine. That is fine. I think I'm fine with it. No, I'm not fine with it. I want it to connect. All right, I'm gonna have to be fine with it. I will survive, I think. But now let's come in and let's get a boatload of parking in here. So for starters, this one holds 1,500 employees. This one holds 800 employees. Trying to see if I can actually mental math this. Probably will fail, but I think that means we need about 2,300? We're probably not going to actually be able to fit that much parking in here. How much does the overground parking hold? So we have one of them over here. Wow. Was expecting that to hold a lot more than 160. Did they patch this? Huh. I'll have to figure out if they patched something, because I swear these held more. But that's okay. For the most part, really, I feel really only executives would, probably park here. So let's come on in. Hit a small one right there and jack up that price because, yup. Yeah, so let's watch this build up a little bit and see how we like everything. All right, let's kind of see how this looks from different angles. So many smokestacks. I do like these twin buildings here. Yeah, I think I'm pretty satisfied with that. Yeah, I think I can deal with how that looks. And what I really love about the Switchton Plant is that we will be this is, like I was mentioning a couple of episodes ago, I kind of want each build that we do, each season of Build&Beautify, to have its own little exports and extractor themes or goals or designated item. And in Pine Harbor County, we're looking at wood in particular as the raw resource and electronics as part of our exports. So I was really excited to get to put this one down, and it's such a chunk. It's such an IKEA. I don't even want to judge it for being an IKEA, but that is such an IKEA. Anywho, so yeah, for now, I think that should be good. All right, so we are going to do one last industrial signature building, and it is actually kind of impulsive of me to do this one. So I was kind of just browsing off camera here, and I noticed that we are one mining hub away from having the ground earth. Now, I know eventually I'm going to want to build a big mining suburb out in this area here, kind of to right next to Blackpool. So if I come out of all those things, this is where the ore is. And I was thinking of doing a little bit more road layouting. That's a word. Road layouting. Anywho, I was thinking of putting in more road layouts here in this area and putting some big mining hubs out here. Instead, I think we're going to take advantage of some of the really great specialized industry and plop one right actually in this area. So I'm thinking tentatively, I want to put some regular zoning here. And regular zoning here. So what if we actually took this space, especially since it's sort of a weird space? I'm putting a mining facility. Just a good old stone one, since it doesn't need a raw resource. And look, ground earth. So let's just want to be able to see what I'm doing a little bit here. All right. And then I want to leave this section here kind of opened. And voila. And the reason I left this section open is because I want to put something here. And I have no idea what I want to put. I just saw some nice zoning and said, let's put things here. So we could certainly use some a high-rise office building. And I think that would frame out these buildings really nice. Or we could try to work closer to the oil refinery. Put a big chunky industrial building. I think I'm going to go with the office because I could put some big chunky industrial here instead and still be okay, because we're not going to use this groundwater for anything. So if it gets polluted, I'm not too worried about it. So that's actually a really huge spot. I did not realize that. So I want to keep it 6 by 6 probably in that corner. So maybe we can do a little bit of both. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Let's try that. Nope. 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 Okay. It's going to be an industrial building. Let's try this again. Yep. We'll go with that industrial building. Whatever may spawn. We will just bring this down here. Oop. Fill in the rest of the spots. And then while we're at it, how about we fill in this space here? All right, let's watch this grow in really quickly, and then we will place our ground earth factory building. Cool. Okay, I think I like how this is looking here. So let's move on to plopping that ground earth building. All right, so part of the reason I was wicked excited to go for the ground earth building is because I think it's just going to look really, 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 really good right here next to our, what's this thing called? Oop. Next to the landfill. So what we're going to do is probably align it. I think we're going to try and align it just like this, which means we're going to need to move the landfill around a little bit. So let's pull the landfill back all the way here. And let's plop our road snapping on the ground earth building right there. And let's build this back out. cool. That is what I was hoping for. All right, and then I think what I'm gonna do just to finish fleshing this area out a little bit, I think I'm gonna come in with a large parking lot right here. Get that parking nice and high. And then finally, I think we're just gonna flush out this part here and this part here with some additional zoning. So yeah, let's zoom on out here and see how this looks once it's all pulled in. All right, I kind of like how that came out. I think this is just about good for some high rises out in this area. I think it keeps the height going for Bunyan's Rest without being too much. All right, so I think this might be a good spot to start wrapping up our episode and beginning our Beautifying the Build time lapse. So let's jump on into it. Alrighty, I think that just about wraps up today's episode. But before we go, I want to know, what is everyone's favorite signature building? Leave it in a comment below, and also while you're there, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and if you enjoyed today's episode, hit that like button. Until next time, I hope everyone has a phenomenal week.